Hi, we keep hearing behavior is a form of communication. All behavior has meaning. What does this mean? And how do we translate that into what we're seeing in our classrooms? Hi, my name is Prerna and I am a behavior coach. So I was in a classroom the other day and I noticed that this little girl was hypersensitive, super hypersensitive. So let me set the stage. It's a preschool classroom. Well, it's a pre-K classroom. I think she's 4.5, 5 now. This little girl, Sophie, and the teacher, Miss Jasmine, is there, and she's very responsive. But this little girl, Sophie, is super hypersensitive. If somebody looks at her in a certain way, if somebody corrects her, even if somebody redirects her, she loses it. She runs, she screams, she shuts down. She has this whole outburst. And then she becomes defiant. And then she becomes stubborn. She doesn't want to cooperate. She doesn't want to listen. She doesn't want to follow directions. And so the teacher is struggling. And this is a teacher that I've been working with for a while now. So she already has some strategies under her belt and she's been using them. And I think she did it really beautifully how she handled this. So it was outdoor time and Miss Jasmine corrected Sophie because she was throwing, sand and it was going in somebody's eyes. And Sophie ran away. And so Miss Jasmine followed her and she stayed with her for a bit. And then she asked her, I'm your safe, she told her the sentence, I'm your safe space. You can take your time. I'm here for you. When you're ready to speak, I'm ready for you to talk to me. And so when Sophie was ready, she told Miss Jasmine that I didn't like the way you corrected me in front of everybody else. Think about that. So the outside emotion that we're seeing is defiance. We're seeing shutdown. We're seeing stubbornness. But guess what? Those are not the primary emotions. Those are the secondary emotions. The primary emotions are shame, embarrassment, fear that she's in trouble, anxiety, self-conscious, maybe lack of self-esteem and self-pride. All of that happened underneath the surface. So yeah, all behavior does have meaning and all behavior is a form of communication, but it's up to the grown-up to decipher the behavior. It's up to the grown-up to be a detective and to unpack what I'm seeing so that you can help the child. And one of the things that this girl does, she's already learned this because she's so hypersensitive and she's so introverted that she just goes inside really fast. One of the coping strategies that she's learned for herself, one of the self-soothing, self-coping strategies that she's figured out on her own is to sing the ABCs. And her parents said that, that at home, she just sings the ABCs and it seems to calm her down. Isn't that interesting that children know this about themselves? But if you're just focusing on the defiance and the pushback and the stubbornness, we would be correcting that, right? Don't do that. Don't you run away from me. Stop doing that. And that's not going to help the child because there's a whole lot going on underneath. So when you hear this sentence, all behavior has meaning and all behavior is a form of communication, I want you to start thinking about children. Instead of saying, why are you doing that? Pause and say to yourself, what are you feeling right now? What are you feeling right now that you're unable to label and tell me? Sophie probably doesn't even know that there's an emotion called embarrassment and shame. But nevertheless, she experiences it. So if we can label the emotions, if we can give them a wide range of emotions that they can identify, this is what it feels like. And so Miss Jasmine was able to calm her down outside, but then the incident happened again inside and she wasn't able to calm her down. And it was already an hour and a half and she had not told her why she'd got upset or why she'd got shut down. So Miss Jasmine was asking me during the coaching, she said, I gave her the space. What should I do different? Or how can I help her? And the thing that I suggested to her was, don't keep pressurizing her to tell you how she's feeling, because that's also adding pressure. But maybe you could just be close enough to her and just give her the space. And you could use sentences like, I'm wondering what you're experiencing right now. I wonder if that was shame and embarrassment. Just sit in that wondering space, not expecting a back and forth, not expecting a response, but just out loud wondering in a safe space without judging. And then, maybe adding a sentence. Yeah, there's sometimes I feel shame too. And maybe give an example of when you felt shame, so that children can start hearing this in the osmosis and start making sense of it, that feeling that I had has a label. And if I can mention it, I can manage it. It becomes less scary, because they're experiencing all these emotions, but they don't have a name for it. They don't know how to manage it. So start becoming a detective and really start wondering, what is this child feeling right now? It's a mindset shift. Instead of jumping to the label of correcting the behavior, don't do this and stop this and you know better. Try to go underneath the surface and try to wonder, what are you feeling right now? What emotion is bubbling up? And how can I support that right now? So I hope that was helpful. Leave me a comment. I love hearing from you. You guys, some of you have been leaving comments on the YouTube channel, and I love it. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you're wondering about, and maybe, we could make a video about that the next time. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe and share it with your other friends. I would appreciate the sharing if it's relevant to parents and other educators. Thank you for joining, and you got this. You got this, Brain Architect. It's so beautiful, the work you're doing in early childhood. So thank you so much, and all the best. Bye for now.